What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about XRP today. Hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it, okay? It is the 14th day of October. We're almost halfway through this month. It's kind of crazy. October starting off on a very bad note, I would say, right? The first couple of weeks here, not the best. 5 days, 9 hours left in this week here. If we're looking at it right now, I do assume that by the end of this week we'll come up. We'll probably close this week green. That's my expectation. We're down 3.3% right now, dealing with the aftermath of this massive crash, this massive breakout that took place with this range here. You know, compared to this chart, I wonder how Coinbase did. Yeah, the low, it was a higher low overall, but with the Binance and Bybit charts, man, that thing went way lower. Anyways, looking at this on a daily time frame here, it's clear as day. It's absolutely clear that we've broken out of this range. I didn't think that we'd break out of this range, but at the same time, I reminisce with the thoughts that we said back here. There's no such thing as a quadruple bottom, right? We were convinced that we saw the first quadruple bottom in history. We were convinced that, let that be a lesson to me and to you, that no matter what we see happening, there's no such thing as a quadruple bottom. They don't exist. You're gonna break through eventually, okay? Here we are right now at $2.45 right now. Looking at this on a 1 hour time frame, the expectation here is that we're probably going to move up right now. I don't think that we go lower. I do think that we're at a low point here, and we're probably going to move higher from this position. The stock market is actually down today. Technically, we are down, but from the open, we've come up a good little bit. And I think that we will continue moving higher, right? We haven't gone below Friday's lows yet, and I think that we're going to continue to move higher. Bitcoin itself, I think, has had a little uptick because of that as well. Moving down a little bit right now on this current hour, but I think that Bitcoin will also begin to move higher, and with that, we should see XRP and the rest of the market follow suit. Looking at the 1 hour indicators, the RSI here, you were oversold coming out of the oversold zone. What a good time to find a low and then come out. Stochastics are coming out of the oversold zone as well, and then the MACD looks like it wants to cross back up here and probably cross the zero, but it's on the 1 hour time frame. These crosses don't really mean too much. It's less significance here. So looking at this overall, I'm very much anticipating that we do have some kind of a higher low trend here with the 1 hour time frame, higher high trend as well. We'll probably come up and see prices that are at about 270 or higher. Let's actually give a good kind of measurement here from a high to a low. The expectation would be that perhaps by the end of the day, we're reaching for prices that are back above 255. Going into tomorrow, Wednesday, the 15th of October, we should be seeing a $2.70 to $2.82 price, something in that area there. That'd be my expectation. I wouldn't be surprised if we did hit 282 tomorrow or the next day, Thursday, maybe in the early parts of Thursday. Find some resistance at prior support. We'll probably come back down. And then going into the end of the week, I would expect that we come back up as well. Perhaps having a bullish finish to the week on Friday, and then having a bullish weekend as well. If not, some kind of neutral bearish weekend could be expected. But I don't think anything crazy is going to happen. The crazy thing already happened, you guys, right? People are still expecting more to come, and maybe we go lower. Maybe I'm wrong. And on that note, not financial advice, not a financial advisor. If we do go lower, if we're not moving up from here and we do go lower, XRP is not broken. We could go back down to prices that are around $2, $2.15, $2.20. It's possible. I don't foresee it happening though. Not right now, not with these indicators looking like that. 4 hour time frame, they look exhausted on the sell side. 4 hour time frame, however, the 4 hour RSI does give me a little bit of concern here, I should say. It's nice that we've broken out of the downtrend, but if you're finding resistance at the 60 and then you break below the 40, that could be problematic. So here we are at a kind of crucial moment to hold as support. So we want this 4 hour candle. Well, I guess maybe not this 4 hour. If this 4 hour candle closes here, I think it's fine, but we want the next one. We just don't want to break down, right? We don't want any 4 hour candles really to close dramatically lower than where we are here. It's okay if you close here, but I would like it if you closed higher. I would like to start seeing these 4 hour candles going into the end of this day, having a little pump. If things go the way that I think they will, that should happen. And then we'll have a nice bounce here, in which case we should have higher lows on the RSI, higher lows on the price as well, or higher highs on the RSI as well, and moving to that overbought zone should be the next thing. If we are moving to the overbought zone, what we're looking for is a attempt into it not a rejection from it. You don't want to move up to it and reject. You want to move up and get into it, okay? So we want to get into the overbought zone. If we do successfully get into the overbought zone, remember, this is the 4-hour time frame. So, 6 candles goes by and that's a day. Another 6 candles, that's 2 days, right? So it doesn't take much for time to go by with this. If we were to get into the overbought zone, it'd probably happen by like Thursday or Friday, something like that. That'd be my guess. And we would be seeing prices likely well above $2.73. So maybe it is Thursday, right? Wednesday, between today and Wednesday, we start to grow, but then Thursday, we do top off. We find a little bit of resistance in the overbought zone here. My voice has been cracking all day. I don't know what's up with me, man. But then we would probably come back down. That'd be my expectation, right? Break out of this zone, get overbought, and then we find resistance at prior support here, and we come back down. We find another higher low, and we start to build going into next week as well, going into the end of the month. Stochastics on the 4-hour do look a little bit concerning, I must admit. There's not too many instances where we've bounced right here on the stochastics, are there, as far as the 4-hour goes? I can't find any right now. Here's one, to be fair, but you did get oversold. You did not get overbought. Here you rejected. It doesn't happen often, right? You don't typically, hey, there you go. Okay, right there, look at that. Support, all right there. Maybe it does happen. And we are in a little bit of an uptrend right now. I mean, we're overall in a downtrend, but just from this low to this low, we have a little higher low, higher high going on in this relative area of consolidation. So we could bounce here. Yeah, I could see it happening. The MACD also looks like it's good for a bounce. So hopefully that holds true. Hopefully we do bounce here, because if not, we likely will go down to prices that are around like $2.30 to $2.15. I don't expect that to happen, but again, if the unexpected happens, if what I'm not expecting happens, if the inverse C-Zar happens, that's the area that we'd like to go to. I'm anticipating 270 to 280, probably late Wednesday, if not probably Thursday, and then we'll go from there. Anyways, looking at this on a daily time frame, zooming out a little bit more, things do look a bit bleak right now on the daily RSI. Getting oversold, living below the 50 primarily, not getting overbought at all, rejecting the 40 here. It's not a good look. We got 8 hours left in the day. Let's see if we can't come up and close today green. That would be a nice goal, I think, because if today closes green, the RSI is no longer rejecting the 40 here. We'd be breaking above it, and that could be a setup to see some higher readings. Maybe not get into the overbought zone, but at least get some higher readings, which would then bring the price higher as well. The stochastics are tied up. They're very neutral right now. I would think you continue moving higher. And the MACD, no bullish divergence, but you are at an area where you might expect to find support. You do have some of the lowest readings in your oscillators that we've seen in a long time. This actually is typically where you find support if we look right here on the oscillators, right? Typically this is where we go. So wouldn't be surprised if we turned around here, saw a little bit of upside over the next day or two. We'll see though, right? We'll see. $2.45 now. The expectation is that in time, maybe next week, maybe the week after, certainly by the end of this month of October, we should be moving to higher prices. We should be seeing higher levels back above $3. Going into November, we should be seeing new all-time highs. The expectation overall is that while, yes, we've had a bit of a rough start to the month of October, and it's been a wicked flash crash for sure, I don't think that this expresses weakness. I want to set the record straight because I've said this in a few videos, right? I'm going to say it to you now. I'm going to look you right in the eye, okay? XRP is not weak because of what happened on the 10th. Everybody's saying this shows the fragility of altcoins, right? Bitcoin was even fragile. Bitcoin was even weak, but at least it held up better, dramatically better than altcoins. Whenever push comes to shove, altcoins have no chance. Their structural integrity is taken out by the knees. That's what people want you to think, okay? None of what I was saying right there did I believe that. I'm just saying that's what people are saying right now. They think they're so smart because of what happened, because of what the chart says. But let's think about it logically. What happened on the 10th besides the drop? All the major exchanges in crypto were down at the same exact time. There was no liquidity. There was no opportunity for anybody to buy or uphold the price. In fact, as soon as the exchanges came back online, we ripped all the way back up. We went from a low. Look at this. This is what happened without liquidity. We dropped 45%, but as soon as it came back on, we pumped 83%, right? We ate it all back up, and we haven't faltered. We haven't gone back down, right? Because people are buying here. Right now we're at a discount. We're at a 50% discount for XRP. People say this was a sign of weakness. I think it was a sign of strength. When the market was unplugged, we dropped through the floor because it's not real price action. The exchanges were down. Nobody could step in and place buy orders. We were live during this low. Believe me, there were a bunch of people telling me they were trying to buy there and they just couldn't. The prices would have never made it that low. It was the largest liquidation event in history. That should tell you one thing and one thing only. It was a coordinated effort. All the exchanges shut down at the same time. It was a coordinated effort. Massive wicks that cleared out all of your long position. It was a coordinated effort, right? That's all it was. That's 100% what it was. And then as soon as the exchanges open back up, back to normal. We're back to normal. A little bit lower, granted, a little bit lower, but no way is XRP weak here. In fact, if anything, it shows strength because as soon as the markets came back online, the demand to buy went through the roof. You guys, on Monday, we had $3.5 billion in crypto inflows. That includes XRP ETFs and ETFs in the United States. $3.5 billion in ETFs for crypto inflows. Right? After the drop happened on Monday, yesterday. Right after that, if anything, when the markets came back online, it shows the strength. We are very strong here. We are anything but weak here. Okay, if we're looking at this overall range here, right, we've clearly broken out, had a massive breakout. Now we're just waiting. We're consolidating in this area here to continue with our bad selves all the way up to new all-time highs. The expectation therein would be that we see something that respects or corresponds to this high to low Fibonacci extension. My expectation is that the next stop is one place and one place only at prices above 1356. The reason why I say above 1356 is because with the 1414, you don't typically stop right at it like this. You typically do wick above it and then you come back below. So something above 1356 is what I'm eyeballing personally. This should happen by the end of 2025. I think that we will be there by the end of 2025. I wouldn't be surprised at all if by the end of October we were back at our all-time high area, or certainly in November we're at new all-time highs, pushing forward. We might find turbulence along the way. It's not going to be a straight shot, but again, you know, there was turbulence here. We look back at this as just like a straight shot up, but if we go back on the daily time frame, you'll see, we zoom out, there were moments where you had turbulence. And it doesn't look that significant, but this is what I mean with turbulence, right? You pumped up. Imagine how many people after XRP pumps, you know, from the 3rd of November to the 16th of November, like literally, what is that, like 2 weeks later, you're up 157%. Imagine how many people said here, okay, we're going to correct, we're going to pull back. This was a trying moment. From a high to a low, XRP dropped 20% in one day. That was a trying moment. That was a turbulent moment right there, right? We consolidated for another week here. From a high to low, you dropped 21%, and you still moved higher. It's not going to be a straight line all the way up. There will be points in time where you find resistance. It might not look as ugly as I have it drawn there, but we're probably going to see prices go all the way up to $13.56 or beyond by the end of the year. None of that's changed. None of that's changed at all. I'm very much expecting that XRP will be worth well over $30 by the end of the cycle, $70 to $40. That's my personal expectation. Time will tell. We'll see how it goes. I've got nothing else for you guys. Again, people are all around right now saying, and especially right now, especially because Bitcoin overnight went like this, right? Because it just did this. If we're looking at this on the daily time frame, we had this. They weren't saying it up here, right? Yesterday when we were at 115K, what was being said? Everybody was saying, we're going to new all-time highs. This was just a fake thing. It doesn't matter. The markets are stronger than ever. We're going to go up. And now that we're down here, all those people are shutting up and the bears are coming out to play saying, this is a sign of weakness. Clearly the markets are weak. We're clearly going lower. There's clearly some faults in the markets. No, there were some faults in the exchanges. The exchanges shut down and the market shut down. So then it was easier to move. As soon as the exchanges came back online, we have yet to move lower. We've only actually had higher lows. Have you noticed that? Sign of strength. Absolutely, it's a sign of strength. But what we're seeing on X.com and some YouTube channels and maybe your favorite Discords is that people are not strong-willed. They're very weak-willed, and that they're just very complacent in saying that any kind of drop without any further thinking is the end of the cycle. This is a fatal flaw in how the markets work. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but this was not a sign of weakness. This was a coordinated effort. They had an easy time doing this. All they had to do was shut down the exchanges, shut you and me and your friends out from buying this thing at any price. It wouldn't have made it, XRP wouldn't have even made it down below 230. It probably wouldn't have even made it down this low. We'd probably still be up higher if the exchanges didn't shut down to begin with. But it was all a coordinated effort. We're dealing with the aftermath now. People are acquiring this, and we're going to send it up higher in a matter of no time at all. I have nothing else for you. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, hit that like button. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this. I hate that my voice keeps cracking. I sound like a teenager. I'll see you on the next one, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.